Hi, welcome to my plant mess. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and I like dabbling with houseplants. I love collecting them and I just like keeping them. They make me happy. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I've done to care for my Monstera Thai Constellation. It might be a good idea to actually show you my Thai Constellation. Thankfully, it's not too far. It's right behind me. So here it is. I will show you. Introduce it to the mess. So I've had this Thai Constellation for a few months now. I think I've had it at least 2.5 months, probably 3 months now. And so when I got it, it only had don't think that it grew very quickly. No. It's given me so far 2 new leaves since I've had it. So when I got it, it was just pushing out this leaf here. And since I've had it, it has produced this leaf here. So I'm very excited because we went from a lot of solid leaves, all solid leaves, to the first leaf with fenestrations. And it didn't just give me 1, 2, 3, it has 4 fenestrations, I should say, because they're actually not completely disconnected. So very nice. It's such a young plant. It's really a baby. And so I'm so excited that it's doing this well. So I was nervous because I've heard a lot about Thai constellations being prone to overwatering. So because of this, I was really nervous. So I did this technique that I found from a YouTuber. I don't know his name, but if I find I will look for him and I will put his video or his handle somewhere up on the screen to give credit where credit is due. I don't know where he got the idea from. Don't know if it's his idea. I don't know, but that's where I found it, in that video. And I found this technique from him, and so far, no root rot. The plant seems to be doing really well, as you can see. So I want to show you what I did and how I did it. Now I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm not going to take this plant out. I'm going to show you how I did it with this plant here. And today is a bad day for me for plant names. This is Zanzifolia, something along those lines. I will put the name on the screen. Some days I'm good and some days I'm not. Today, the name isn't coming to me. But anyways, I used to have this plant in, when I got this plant, I put it straight into pure leca with water at the bottom. And yeah, no, it's not doing as well as as good as I would like. So I was about to put this entirely into soil when I took it out of the leca and I realized it was getting some brand new roots. So it is doing well, but I don't think it's thriving in the medium that I had it in just leca and water. So that was my opportunity to do what I actually thought about doing. There goes a leca ball, which is to do with this plant what I did with the Monstera that's doing really well. So to just show you quickly, I have the Monstera in a cover pot. Yeah, in an old yogurt container. No shame here. I use what I have. There's leca in here, but there's a twist. It's not just leca. If you like content like this, you like plant videos, actually also have some travel videos, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. So for this, you will need a container. I use old yogurt containers. I just keep them whenever I have them because I never quite know when I'll need them for a plant. So I took an old yogurt container and I put a few holes along the sides of the container. So for my Thai Constellation, I actually put it closer to the bottom, but for this plant, I'm actually going to bring it a bit higher, a bit more into the middle of the container. So I'm going to just go towards the middle, try not to cut myself, and put a hole right about here. There we go. 1, another 1, 2. You can see where I am right here, and I'm going to put another 1, 3, right here. Okay, so why am I putting holes into the container? The reason I'm doing this is so that when I put water into the plant, I'm building a reservoir basically. So water will fill up only to this level and then it will pour out of the sides. This way the plant is sort of, it has to work to reach the water. And I'm doing it so high because as you can see, the roots on this are still quite shallow. They're not very deep. I mean, I will push the plant in a bit deeper, but I want to encourage the roots to sort of go down and get to the water, but I don't want the roots to be sitting in a lot of water, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So next, that's the unexpected part of the technique. Instead of just filling this up with leca, I'm actually going to put a layer of leca and then a layer of perlite. So this is what I did. So I added a thick layer of leca. Just gonna take this out. I did sanitize and wash the leca off. So I'm gonna put a thick layer of leca. Can you see how much leca? So I put a thickish layer of leca. Then I'm going to add a very thin layer of perlite just to sort of cover the leca over completely. I don't like when perlite is this. Okay. That was more than I wanted, but that's okay. Just a thin layer to cover the perlite, to cover the leca. Very, very thin layer. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to add another layer of leca. And then another layer of perlite. Again, a very thin layer. My first layer just now was a bit thicker than I would have liked. There we go. There we go. So this is a bit more like it. Oopsie, not on the plant. Very thin layer. I could put a little bit more, but so okay, so I will. I should. There we go. Just a little bit more just to cover the leca. See? And then we're going to do this process all over. We're just going to keep doing it over and over until we get to the height that we want it to be. I'm happy with this height. So now I'm going to put my plant in. So this is just above where the holes are, so that the plant now has to go down and get the water that's below in that reservoir. This is what I did for my Thai constellation, and it's doing amazingly. So I definitely recommend this technique for a Thai constellation, but we're going to see if this is going to work for this plant. If you want to see updates, you may want to follow my Instagram page. That's it, my Instagram page. Or I'll also include it in videos, upcoming tours. So you may want to subscribe to the channel just so that you can stay tuned to see how this plant turns out. Okay, let me get some more leca. So next, I'm going to add some more leca. A little bit more than usual just to help the plant to sit up. And it's doing well. Then add, again, some more perlite. Thin layer. There we go. And then now one more layer of leca. I personally, in having my plants in leca, just leca, some of the plants didn't seem to respond well to just leca. Perlite helps to add, it just helps to make the soil just a bit more substantial. I feel like leca, the leca balls can sometimes be just a bit too big. It gives the plant a bit more to hang on to. I can't explain it, but in the video he explains it a lot more. Okay. And that's it. So there is no set number of layers that you need to have. You just keep doing this until you get to your desired height. This Liberté did not sponsor this video. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. So next, what I'm going to do is actually fill it up with water until water starts pouring out of the reservoir. And that way I know that the plant, that I've filled it up to the desired height. So for the Thai constellation, the way I knew when the Thai constellation needed to be watered, and that would be about every 2.5 weeks or so, is that the plant actually, they drop water at on the leaves. Monsteras tend to do that a lot. With this one, whenever I notice that it's not doing that in the morning anymore, it signals me to check the pot. And so what I would do is I would actually tilt the pot a little bit, and if no water is pouring out, then I would go ahead and add some more water in until it starts pouring out again. And that's it. So the Thai constellation actually lives in a west facing window. I recently, as in maybe less than a week ago, put it into an east facing spot. So I've moved it. Let me show you closer to this spot here. That's right behind me, because this spot is right next to a south facing window, but it doesn't get any direct south facing sunlight. It does, however, in the morning when the sun is over on this side, it does get some direct morning sunlight. So when you have south facing windows, at least for me, I live in Ontario, Canada, I've noticed that in the summertime, the sun is really high up in the sky. So the light doesn't come into my house as much because it's so high up. But in the winter, when the sun actually goes lower, more light. So my plants actually, some winters, they grow more in the winter than in the summer because the sun is lower in the sky and they get more direct sunlight. And I would rather the Thai constellation to have morning sunlight than afternoon sunlight because of the delicate leaves. Because they're variegated, I don't want them to get scorched in the afternoon sun. So far it seems to be happy there, but I wouldn't know for sure until the next new leaf comes out. And based on the amount of variegation, well, I guess variegation doesn't matter with Thai constellation because it's a stable variegation. It depends on the plant, not exactly the sunlight, so it can never revert. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think. But the number of fenestrations actually will tell me if it's happy with how much light it's getting there. If it gets the same or more fenestrations, then that means that it's getting enough light there or view of the sky. But if it has fewer fenestrations, then I just might put it back in the west facing window so that it can get more of that. It might have preferred that a little bit more. Okay, so that's this. I'm going to see if I can find a cover pot. I probably don't even have one, but that's okay. My plants are for me. I don't mind if they're just sitting in a yogurt pot like this. I mean, the fancy YouTube universe may not think it's fancy enough, but for me, it's enough for me. So anyways, I'm going to go fill it up with water until it oozes out the sides, the holes that I've created, and then I'm going to put it into its new home. And that's it. So I have my water here, water with fertilizer, and I'm going to pour it in over the top. Do it slowly. Pour it like coffee until water starts coming out of the reservoirs, out of the holes, I should say. So if you notice, you could see it's pouring out here. Is coming out of this hole right here. So I know that I have put in enough water in here. Thank you for watching today's video. I appreciate you spending some of your day with me. If you enjoy videos like this, I have a strong feeling you may like some of the other videos that I have on my channel. Or if you haven't as yet, you may want to click right here to subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.